Hello, everyone. How's it going? I hope you're all as excited as I am tonight to check out Gloomhaven Early Access and their new development. We are just now getting Guildmaster Mode live today, and I thought I would move the stream from Tuesday to tonight just to be able to check it out. Hopefully, you'll all be able to join in and check it out with me for the first time. Unfortunately, the sad news there's always a little bit of sadness. The progress that I'd made in adventure mode, thankfully, wasn't too far. I hadn't even really gotten to the first boss yet, so it'll be really exciting to check out the new guild mode. They had to erase the old mode, but I think this will be a much more exciting development and much more of a narrative structure to the adventure mode. And I'm really excited to check it out. I've heard some really good things. I'm excited to check it out. Apparently, there's 90 new scenarios, a new tutorial. Everything's been revamped from the tutorial to the out of dungeon experience and the overland map. There's achievements you can get, and there's all new biomes or locations where the dungeons or scenarios will take place, and new enemies that have been added, like cave bears, drakes, giant vipers, stone golems. There's going to be new scenario objectives, and of course, they keep promoting the fact that multiplayer is coming up soon. It's going to be in a closed beta, and they're ironing things out, and they'll keep adding more players. So hopefully that'll happen soon. Um, and apparently there's going to be new chapters that will be added as they that'll just kind of be added on to the end of the storyline of Guildmaster Mode. So we'll try to get to the end of that before they have a big new update. So let's check it out. Obviously, this is still a work in progress. The adventure mode has been revamped into Guildmaster Mode. They're going to be adding more playable characters, enemies, and rules until they're actually ready for the campaign. I think that's the main thing that's keeping the campaign from being developed and and completed, is the fact that they just have so many more things they need to add as far as enemies, characters, things like that. Getting all that ready before they can even hope to get everything balanced, before they can even hope to get the game on out for regular release. And of course, they're continuing modding support. I'm just kind of reading the news here for the first time as I'm checking it out. All right, so now you've really got a little bit more of a limited menu than before. You used to have adventure mode, tutorial, everything like that, but all of that's kind of been wrapped up into Guildmaster now. Later on, there'll be the campaign that'll be unlocked after early access, and of course, multiplayer is going to come out soon in early access. It'll be one of the last things they work on. Looks like we've still got the level editor here. Nothing new in terms of additions to the video options. So we'll be starting Guildmaster mode. Now, what I heard was that this game is kind of also resetting the idea of how you get access to uh, parties bigger than two. As a matter of fact, I think that the tutorial mode actually starts you with just one character, just so you can kind of learn the ropes of the game. And then as you go on, you'll be unlocking other characters. And I'm assuming also the ability to play with more than uh, well, the base game, the physical game, you have to play with at least two characters, but I think here you start off with one character and then eventually you add two and then so on. I think it'll kind of add more as it goes along, so we'll check it out. We'll be starting a new adventure. Ooh, okay. So we could either do peaceful, 25% less enemies. Heroes start the scenario with +2 blesses in their deck. So this was kind of how adventure mode was when you started out. You used to have blessing in your deck. Monsters are a little bit easier. Heroes have about a little bit more health. Oh, this is interesting. So you're going to start your guild name, and you're going to have shared gold, but you do have the option later on to do split gold. And that's something that is, I guess, locked in easy mode. You have to share all gold, which, the physical game, that's split gold, which makes it a little bit harder. You've got every player has to earn their own guild for their character, their own gold for the character. Each mercenary manages an individual amount of gold. Okay. So let's see if I check out normal mode. Okay, it looks like it just basically takes away the less enemies, the blessings, easier enemies, and monsters were one level lower previously. Well, I guess that's how they were in adventure mode. That might not have been the case. Heroes have 25% more health, but we're still doing shared gold. If you're in hard mode, looks like you've got harder enemies, insane enemies. So we'll just play on normal. So we don't have any of these extra either disadvantages or advantages. Got to enter our guild name. Game face killers. Hey Lard, how's it going? Checking out the new guild mode. Just name the guild. Okay, so we will do the full tutorial just to see. It's supposedly different. It's going to show you the basics of Gloomhaven and puzzle quests. Interesting. I could start with the story intro, which gives me the initial story and puzzle quest, or I could just do a quick start. I'm going to skip all that, but I'm going to check it out because it's the first time looking at it. All right, welcome Guildmaster. I'm the guild trainer, and I'm here to guide you in setting up your own mercenary guild. Let's start with you guiding your brute through the first tutorial. Okay, so we got to make sure we know how to adjust the view of the battlefield. Camera controls. WASD moves the camera around, pans it around. Q and E rotates it. Mouse wheel scrolls it in and out. You could even play this kind of pretty much top down if you wanted to. You control a party of mercenaries, each equipped with a deck of ability cards. These cards are how your mercenaries will explore dungeons, fight enemies, and loot treasure. At the beginning of each round, the first thing you got to do is decide which 2 cards you're going to use on your turn. In this tutorial, the brute has just 3 cards at his disposal. And they're highlighted. Which ones are in color, which ones are available. Looks like I've got one that I've already burned in an earlier turn before the game started. Provoking Roar is grayed out to indicate that it's currently discarded for the sake of the tutorial. So we'll select the 2. Oh, and I guess I've got a long rest availability. But I'm going to select the 2 that I do have access to. Trample 1. See the question mark next to the brute's portrait changed into a number, which means since I selected it first, it's going to automatically select that as my initiative card, which is 72. That always, yes, but you can switch initiatives if you select the second card just by clicking the circle. It'll be the brute's turn anyway since there's nobody in here, so I'll select my second card, and then we'll just start the turn. Now it's the brute's turn. Time to choose some actions. Each half of a card represents an action comprised of 1 or more abilities. I get to use 2 actions per turn, but based on my cards, and you can see how it's highlighting here, if you haven't played this before, you can only pick 1 top set of action and 1 bottom set. So it automatically switches. If you pick a top of 1 card and hover over it, it's going to have the bottom of the other card selected. So you can only do a top of 1 action, excuse me, and the bottom of another action. So I can do top half of trample, bottom half of grab and go, or vice versa. There's nothing for the brute to do in this room, so I need to go ahead and get on to the next room. So I need to do some fast moving. I'm going to use grab and go. Since it's not a loss ability, I can move 4. And that automatically lets me move into the doorway. I'll only be using 3 movements, so I'll have 1 movement left. So you can either click again to activate the door or just click open door. I'm just going to click a second time. All right. So you'll notice that the hexes are still white, and I can move 1 more space because I did have 1 more movement. So after you open a room, you do get to finish your movement. It's a battle. It's a bandit guard. Monsters also have actions on their turn, and if you hover over him, he'll show you what his action is. He's going to move 1 and attack 3 after my turn is done. Yep, I already hovered over and checked it out. His intentions are to move and attack. Monsters only get one action, but usually they have multiple abilities. The bandit does have a lower initiative, but because I was going and I'm in the middle of my turn, I do get to finish my turn before he gets to go. So we're going to go ahead and get close to him. Now I can do my top half of my trample for an attack. So you'll notice that it's highlighted his hit points because if I draw a 0 modifier, which is the most common modifier, then I will do 3 damage. So obviously I can draw a negative modifier or a positive modifier. I have the ability, if I hover over myself, I can see what my modifiers are. If you look on the right-hand side, that card that came up, each of the little pips under that in that card tells you how many of those cards I have in a deck. The physical game, it's a deck of cards, and it lets you know how likely. Basically, the pips let you know how likely it is that you're going to draw a certain modifier. So 0 is the most frequent. -1 or +1 are equally frequent after that, and then there's only one copy of each of the other modifiers. So I have picked the attack. Obviously, I highlight who I'm going to attack, and then I confirm that. All right, I drew a modifier of +0. So I drew the most common. It's still going to do its base damage of 3. Didn't quite kill him. He's down to 2 hit points. So the bandit's going to go. He's going to move and attack for 3 damage, but since he's already next to me, he's actually going to forego the moving and get straight to the attack. And it's an attack 3. So I take 3 damage. So when it's your turn to take damage, and this is kind of important to remember, because you can be pretty strategic about it. There's certain tactical advantages to your options. I can take the damage, which is the normal thing that most people will do half the time. If you've got hit points left, then obviously you want to take the damage. But the other options are that you can burn a card that's in your hand that's not discarded, or you can burn 2 cards that were discarded, and I have 3 right now. I can burn 2 of them instead of taking damage. But obviously, if I have hit points left most of the time, I'm not going to want to lose cards unless I can't help, absolutely can't help it. But the one thing you don't want to do is take damage if it would reduce you to 0, because that'll automatically end the scenario for you and you lose. So it's kind of a last hope to discard cards. But let's say you take 10 damage. Sometimes it's better to lose a card if your hit points are still really high, like 9, let's say. It would normally kill you, but it's better to take the card loss than possibly lose all your hit points or get your hit points down to 1 or 2. If it was a big hit, it might just be better just to get rid of a card. That way you still have some hit points left to take a little damage later. All right. And of course, those are burned in this game. You don't lose cards, you burn them, which means that they're no longer available to you until the next scenario. But again, you got to worry about burning too many cards, because once all your cards are burned, then you're also exhausted. And of course, I can't burn any cards in my hand. It's grayed out because I don't have any in my hand. Obviously, you want to take damage if possible. And so obviously that's what I'm going to do. So they're giving you that. They went into a little bit more depth about that than the first tutorial. But I think it's good because there is a tactical advantage sometimes to losing a card or burning a card as opposed to taking damage. Okay, the bandit's turn was over. I really need to go early this round because of the fact that I only have 1 hit point left. When you have no cards or even just 1 card in your hand, you have to take a rest. You either do a long rest and you get to heal a little bit of damage, plus choose which card you lose, or you can do a short rest and be back in the game next round, which I might have to do. Even though healing would be nice, I do have to worry about this bandit getting an attack. So I'm going to have to short rest. It'll burn a discarded card at random, but it'll give me all the rest of my cards back. If I take a long rest, it takes up the whole turn, and but I get the bandit might go and kill me before I get my long rest anyway, but I do get to heal if I make it to the end of the round. It'd be certain death, right? I agree with the tutorial. So we're going to go with short rest. Once you select yes, you're confirming that. It draws a card for you randomly. And I can either let that be burned, or if I had the hit points, I could take a hit point and choose a different card. But so since I only have one hit point, I have to let it go. And you'll notice it shows up in red now with a line through it, which lets you know it's not usable. Trample and Provoking Roar have been returned to your hand and are available again. Yeah, so the other two cards get returned to me. We're both near death, so it's really crucial that I go early. So I'm going to have to use Provoking Roar first because it gives me a really low initiative of 10. And then, of course, I'm going to select Trample as my second card. It's my only option. He is moving to and attacking to, but not until initiative 50, which was nice. Enemies will not draw until you've selected all your cards for your characters. So hopefully this attack will not miss. So we'll select the top half of Trample, which will let me pierce plus do 3 damage. It's the most damage I could possibly do. We'll confirm that. All right, I drew a 0 modifier again. We got him, and of course he turns into a pile of gold, as enemies do. In order to pick it up, I'd have to use a loot ability, or I'd have to move on top of it in my turn on top of the money. You don't automatically loot treasure. You have to either play a loot card to loot it or land on top of it. At the end of the scenario, any gold that's not picked up is lost, which kind of sucks. Let's move the brute on top of it, right? How can the brute reach the gold? Well, you got to know about these special moves, right? Everybody knows that if you don't want to do the main action on a card, you can always do the default basic action, which is performing a move action on the bottom half of any card. The top half of every card has a basic attack. Or they call them default actions. So we'll do a default move of 2 by selecting the smaller box here, and we'll move on to it. And we'll skip the rest of our movement. Oh. And that ends his turn, and you'll notice he'll pick up the money. Not only did you vanquish the lone bandit guard, you've even managed to pick up a few pieces of gold. With the basics covered, it's now time to introduce you to slightly more dangerous scenarios. Victory! Yes, gold is always good. Hey, Zergy, how's it going? Oof. New training mission. I still only have 1 hit point. He's gravely wounded. I've got to deal with the elite bandit archer. Man, a stronger enemy with greater stats than normal. With only a single hit point remaining, any amount of damage getting through will cause the brute, to become exhausted. As such, you'll have to avoid any incoming damage by burning cards. Oh, okay, so I'm going to have to burn cards instead of taking damage. For the sake of training, the attack modifier decks will all be 0s, so I don't have to worry about those, okay? Your objectives to start are take the archer down with only a single attack. Ooh, this is kind of like a puzzle, those puzzle scenarios that they had for the Kickstarter. So maybe I'll get to do those now. Take the archer down with a single attack, loot the gold she drops. I can handle that. So of the cards that I have left, that's kind of cool. You got to figure it out. I have to get her to 0 and loot the archer's gold. Well, for sure, I see some traps glimmering here. And so what we're going to do is we definitely am going to use this push to push her into the trap. But before I do that, I am obviously going to attack. But I don't, let's see. If I do normal damage, that's 2 damage. The trap's going to do 2. Then I'm in trouble because I actually will not do enough damage to kill her. So I've got to do a big attack, and then I've got to push her back to, she has 6 health points. So the trick is that if I push her, I can push her onto both traps, Ooh, this one's only going to do 1, though. So in total, I can do 3 of her damage by pushing her onto the trap. So I've got to do at least 3 damage, which means I'm probably going to need to... Well, I can shoot her once I get her over there then. Okay. So we are going to push her first, and then I'm going to use my spare dagger in order to... So here's the problem. Archers usually go early. If I go 27, that's pretty early, but I don't know if it's going to beat the archer, and she might shoot me. If I use the shield bash, I'd lose a card. But I could stun her, do 4 damage. We'll see if this works. Oh, she's moving 14. And she's creating a damage trap. Ah, okay. So I'm going to have to burn a card. I guess we'll burn Grab and Go. She's placing a trap. Okay. Well, that wasn't the best. I should have gone a little bit earlier. So I'm going to skip my movement, but I'm going to push her into these 2 traps, do 3 damage. And then I'm going to use my spare dagger. All right. Now the problem is I need to do a long rest. I'm going to discard a card. I wish I had my loot. All right. Well, we're going to do... Oh, no, I don't want to. I got to burn a card. I'm only going to have 2 cards left. So I'm not going to be able to get the treasure chest. I kind of want to start this over again. Okay. Oh, I've got 3 cards left. I could maybe get both. Let's see if we can do this. All right, I'm going to move 3. Just so I can get the treasure chest. See what it is. Move on to the trap and take damage. Why is it telling me to do that? Ooh, I received the Boots of Striding. What about looting the chest? It may sound painful, but you'll have to step on that trap to reach it next time. Actually, I won't. Oh, I got defeated. Oh, okay, so I think... Oh, yeah. It is really... It's pretty cool, for sure, as far as the kind of features that it has. Glad you could join us. Oh, Road. Yeah, I know. That's true. Well, I think possibly that I maybe have to do the steps that it wants me to do. Like I'm not solving the puzzle in the correct way. All right. This is kind of interesting, though. It's already giving me a puzzle here. Okay, so I've got to take down the archer with a single attack. Loot the gold she drops. Surely you can handle that. Okay, so maybe I do have to do this overwhelming assault. And then I need to do shield bash because obviously I gotta... So see, I could have pushed her and then killed her, but I think the idea is that you've gotta do a single attack hit. So it's kind of an easy puzzle. I'm making it out to be more complicated than it is. All right, so that's my selection. I should... Oh no, she still goes before me. Wow. So I guess I don't have any cards that would beat her. Yeah. Oh, but I could have done Provoking Roar. I think that was a lost card, though, wasn't it? Huh. Okay. So we will burn a card because I can't take the damage. I'm going to try Spare Dagger. Okay, so she places a trap. We're going to do Overwhelming Assault. Oh, I did lose a card in the last scenario, yeah. So it's like carrying me over. Smart. Such power comes at a cost, though. Actions like that are a flaming card icon in the lower corner because they burn once they're used, so I can't use it again. So I got to get that gold. All right, so let's go ahead and move on top of it. And that's how we got the gold. The scenario would normally have ended already, leaving that chest behind. However, for the sake of training, I'm going to give you another objective. Loot the chest. Before you rush headlong into that trap, you might want to heal up first. Take a long rest, which will let you heal too. Okay, so it's not really a huge puzzle. I'm going to do a long rest. And the trap only does 2 hit points. I do have to burn a card, though. Let's go ahead and burn Shield Bash. So now I've got 3 hit points. We'll go ahead and move 4, which will let us move on top of that. Move on to the trap first. Take the damage. And in the movement. And then we'll just do a basic attack, but skip it. Ah, now I got the Boots of Striding. Victory that time. They'll come in handy next time you need a little extra mobility. Next training. That's kind of interesting. The puzzle scenarios, if they have them regularly, will be cool. And I'm sure they'll get more complicated. Man, if they just use the ones that Isaac has released, they've got like 30 some just from the month-long Frosthaven campaign. Although I mean, that's just Frosthaven that he made them up for. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton that they come up with for the regular Gloomhaven. Pretty cool idea for some questing. Basic attack and move abilities, but this time we're going to use some abilities with additional effects. A move action with a jump modifier will help you here. Jump allows you to cross tiles with obstacles or enemies and move over traps without triggering them. So they can, the boots that I have just increase my move ability, which is going to let me get up close and personal. Remember that archers do have usually low initiatives. I've got to use a jump movement to get over the traps, disarm the archer before she attacks. Good luck. So obviously, if I'm going to disarm, I've got to do Provoking Roar, and also if I want to go before her, I'm going to move 4, but I can't because it's not a jump. So I'm going to use Leaping Cleave, which is a jump, and if I use my boots, so normally I would only get to move 3 spaces, but if I use my boots, I can move that extra space I need. And of course, it is before her. That's pretty late for a Bandit Archer, 44. So we'll start with the jump move, but you'll notice that when I click that, my items, any items that are applicable to any actions automatically pop up. So if I use my boots or tap my boots, exhaust my boots anyway, technical term, then I can add an additional movement point, which lets me get this extra. Because without it, you'll notice my movement's restricted, but with it, I can move all the way up here. And you'll notice that it's kind of you do more of a teleport than a jump, but it's still pretty cool looking. So I go right past the traps, don't activate them or anything. Skip the rest of my movement. Now I'm going to attack with a disarm, which will cancel basically any attacks that she's going to do, that's a big attack. 2 damage. And she's disarmed. So she'll skip her turn automatically. Not only did you get a decent hit, but thanks to disarm, the archer couldn't attack. She's low on health, so I should be able to finish her off. Your objectives this turn are to kill the archer, jump over the traps, and get that chest. Okay, I have to finish it this round, which means obviously I'm going to have to do a short rest. And just a little bit of a reminder in the tutorial what the difference between those are. Basically, the difference, knowing how to use a short rest versus a long rest, that's an important skill. So I can lose this card because I don't need to disarm anymore. and I don't want to risk losing my Leaping Cleave. So we do need the Leaping Cleave because we need to jump again, remember? This time I can make the jump because it's only 3 spaces away to the treasure chest. Now I just need to finish her off with an attack that's going to do enough damage. I mean, I could use just the Overwhelming Assault, or I could use a basic attack with Grab and Go. I'll use the Overwhelming Assault. Again, she's going after I am, so it should be no problem. I'm going to use the basic attack action. More than enough. I'm not going to be able to get the gold, but I will be able to jump and get the chest. In the turn. Ooh, I got a healing potion, which is great for him. He's doing pretty badly. All right. Nice work. A short rest, solid stab, and jump into the chest. You certainly earned that healing potion. It's a pretty long amount of tutorials. To be a successful mercenary, you need to read enemies' actions and plan your moves around them. Your objective sounds simple enough. Don't get attacked. You'll need to try again if the enemies manage to land a single hit. Oh, I love this new puzzle mode idea. It's such a great way to kind of teach people about the card's abilities and things like that. First, you'll need to escape the room by opening the door in front of you, but beware that the enemies in the next room also get to act this round. I should be able to find a safe place to stand out of reach of all of the attacks. Which, of course, I don't get to see those till I pick. Don't get attacked for 2 rounds. Okay, so if I am able to disarm the archer and stay away from the movements of the bandit guards, I would not have to worry about getting hit. But the question is, can I do that? Okay. Well, I definitely need to disarm the archer, because if it does any kind of attack, it's going to be able to hit me, because it has a range of 3. I'm just worried about this other guard over here. Dang. Okay, so it can move 1 space, and it's got a range of 3. Man. So I can move over and disarm it. The problem is that the bandit guard will then get an attack. I'm probably going to have to redo this. Well, let's see what's in the other room anyway. Oh, okay. So this enemy is going to be able to move 2. So he can move here and hit me anywhere. This guy moved here. He could attack me from 3 away, 2, 3. Okay, so if I just stay here, I'll be okay. I'm not going to be able to do anything, but I should be fine. So I won't be able to attack. And unfortunately, I lost my disarm, which would have been useful next round. All right, so I didn't get attacked. Nice work avoiding attacks in both rooms. Opening a door adds more enemies, so it's not something to rush into, but it was a tricky situation, your only way to survive. Good news is you only need to avoid getting attacked for one more round to win. You'll find it much harder to find a safe space this time, so maybe you need to prevent an attack a different way. Yeah, I would love to have had my... So I'm going to do a short rest, so maybe I can get my disarm back. Burning grab and go is not too bad because I don't really need it. What I do need, though, is the attack with the disarm and a leaping cleave so I can move clear on the other side of that guy. So let's do that. Okay, well, let's hope the archer can't... I think I'll be okay from the bandit guards, but I just need to make sure I move far enough that the archer also won't be able to hit me. So we will move clear back here and then attack and disarm this guy. All right, so we'll end his turn. Now we'll see if the archer can get close enough. Can't. Too far away. And I disarmed the other guy, so I didn't take any damage. Whew. You know what? You're starting to look like a professional. Disarm is pretty powerful, isn't it? And combined with an initiative of 10 makes Provoking Roar a really good card to get out of nasty scrapes. Time for another test, and then I think you'll be ready to start exploring the world and recruiting mercenaries for our guild. Man, these puzzles are getting stressful. Let's talk about attack modifiers. During your training, characters have always drawn +0 modifiers, meaning their attacks have always dealt the exact damage value specified on the cards. That's not how things really work. Normally, every attacking character will draw an attack modifier which influences the damage dealt. So it can be +1, +2, ×2, or decreased by -1, -2, or just completely miss. Archers have 2 attack modifiers remaining in their decks, a ×2 and a ×0. We want them to draw the 0 and do what we need to give them a disadvantage. And to do that, we need to give them disadvantage. Range attacks have disadvantage when their target is on an adjacent hex, forcing them to draw 2 modifier cards and choosing the worst result, right, if they have disadvantage. As these archers have only 2 modifiers remaining with disadvantage, they will draw both, but only use the ×0. Right, that makes sense. So if they have disadvantage and or you can count cards, which is hard to do, but they have a miss in there somewhere, disadvantage will help dig that up faster. We need to kill... That only is going to work for the one archer, so we need to make sure we kill the other one. All right, the Brood has +1s for this mission. Stand next to an archer to give her disadvantage, kill the other with a range attack. Oh, that should be easy. So we need to do 3 damage with a range attack, and the only range attack the Brute has is the Spare Dagger. And I need to stand next to the other one. So I think I can stand... I can do Leaping Cleave to move. Maybe I'll use Grab and Go. Okay, they're going to attack 3 range 4. Definitely don't want to move there. I want to move there. Okay, so I got to be next to her. So she's only attacking, so she doesn't get to move. She's going to have disadvantage now. I'm going to skip the rest of my movement. So she's the one with disadvantage. The other one I'm going to attack at 3, and I already know I'm drawing a +1, so that's useful information. Boom, dead. Okay. And of course, she draws the disadvantage. She drew a ×2 and a ×0 and had to choose the worst one. Spare Dagger did +1, so I did 4 damage. That helped me kill the other one. My final objective is to kill the last archer and loot the chest. Okay. So I definitely need to short rest because I don't have enough hit points. I'll lose Grab and Go. Oof, I hope my Spare Dagger is enough to go first here. I'm going to have to use my boots to let me go to the chest. The archer's going after me again. Okay, so I definitely want to use my move first because my range attack will also be a disadvantage if I don't. So I use my boots to go far enough to get to the chest. Skip the rest of my movement. And then I'll use my dagger, or my spare dagger, to do 3 damage, and I should draw a +1 again to kill. I know. It's so nice when you know what the modifiers are going to be. It makes the game so much easier. Ooh, I got a shield. That's nice. Victory. Excellent. A heater shield. That's going to help soak up some damage. You finish your basic training missions. Now it's time to introduce some character-specific tactics and get you to start exploring. Great work getting you through the first training missions. Now it's time to introduce you to the third member of the guild. He's not much of a fighter, though. Hey, not all of us can be experts at stabbing people in the chest. Greetings, Guildmaster. I'm the merchant of your fledgling guild, and I deal with the important stuff, money, which at the moment is sorely lacking. This here is the world map, which is looking a bit barren at the moment, partly due to you not actually having a guild, and partly because the realm is kind of overrun with unpleasant monsters. Yeah, total fog of war everywhere here. Ooh, I skipped that part accidentally. Did not mean to do that. Ah, I missed that. Okay, so I accidentally clicked past stuff. I should have paid attention. Let's see if I can go through my log. No log. I am Brute. So my first quest is to recruit the Brute to the guild. Yet again, the Brute finds himself in a precarious situation. If you can get him out safely, he should join the guild. Enemies, living bones. They give you some stats there. Reward is to get the Brute. So my first quest is automatically on the map, and I can kind of go around, journey around, and check it out. So obviously I'm going to travel and do that. I am Brute. The trainer tells you to head to the Demon's Gate graveyard, and there you find a mausoleum with a smashed-in front door. Walking down the steps in the gloom below, you follow a trail of broken bones until you hear the sounds of battle. Entering a chamber, the badly wounded Brute is facing off against a number of undead. It's time to start looking at more specific abilities for the Brute, as we have 2 elite living bones to deal with, and they are now level 1 with upgraded stats. Ooh, which means they have the shield, 5 hit points. Eesh. Yeah. So you can always tell if the enemies are shielded because they have the shields by their hit points. But if I use a pierce attack, that gets negated. I'm low on cards. I can't afford to burn any cards. I need to be aware that the living bones can attack more than once. Also, so I got to kill 1 living bones with a pierce attack, apply some shield of my own, use my health potion. That should help you survive the round. Okay, so this round, I got to do these things. Survive the round by applying shield and using a health potion. So let's do that first. How can I apply a shield? Ah, they want me to use shield bash. So that's easy enough. For my first pick, I've got to kill living bones using a pierce attack. All right, that makes it easy because my attack is my only attack that's a pierce is that one. I can't use my health potion yet because it's not technically my turn. I'm just selecting cards. And if the living bones goes before me, then they would get to attack before obviously I could use any of my items. But they aren't. They're going after me. Okay. So now at this point, I'm going to just start off with my shield. Ooh, kind of got a little bit of beefier cinematics there. That's pretty rad. Okay, so we've got... I need to kill a living bones with a pierce attack. So the only thing that's close to being killed is this guy here. I don't have any items that can help make this attack even better. But a pierce 3, as long as I draw a 0 or higher, I should be good. So we'll do that. And you'll notice there's a little slash through the shield. letting you know that your pierce attack is going to negate that shield. So I did do enough damage. I drew a 0 modifier. So that's good. Oh, if you hover over the character, you see in this tutorial, I only have 0 modifiers. That's nice to know. Can I see what the enemies have? Okay, they've got a mix, a good mix. So they could miss some things. Okay, so before I end the turn, I don't want to forget my one thing. I want to use my healing potion, which heals 3, but that healing potion is gone now for the rest of the scenario. I've got 4 hit points, and I've got a shield on myself, which you can see here. And if he does hit me, I could block it with my own shield, which would add another shield. Oof. Okay, so I'm taking 2 damage, but here you see the item pop up. Hey, do you want to use your shield and block that other damage? Oh no, he was going to do 3 damage to me. So we'll use the shield and at least knock it down to 1 damage. So that's nice. Okay, and I'll take that instead of losing a card. Oh, he gets another attack. I forgot. Now you notice that I got 2 shields. It just, even though I used my shield, it didn't just prevent the damage from that first attack, but that second attack also. So I technically blocked 4 damage, which is pretty nice. I need to kill this last guy, but he's got a lot of health. My advice here is to get acquainted with the push ability. Haha, this is what I love. It goes great with traps. Oh, and you should know that the shield only prevents damage from attacks. It's no help against traps. So the nice thing is if I can push him into these 2 traps, his shield is not going to help him with anything. But I'm obviously going to need to short rest before I can use any cards. So we'll lose Shield Bash. So I definitely need to push. That's one of my cards that I need to do. So I'll do the Warding Strength, Attack 3, Push 2. That's going to do, it's not going to, so 1 damage is going to get taken up by the shield. So that'll do 2 damage, and then he'll take 2 damage from each trap, I think. Oh no, the traps are 3 damage. He's not going to survive that. Is there a treasure? I'm trying to think of what I could do with my move action. I guess I should get this gold. So that will mean I'm just going to do Spare Dagger so that I can have an early initiative. But my main action is going to be my Attack 3, Push 2, which is going to pretty much finish him off. Okay. We'll start off with that attack. So it's only going to do 2 because of the shielding, but he should take 6 damage from the traps, which should be enough to finish him. So there's the 2 damage, and then we'll push him back through these 2 traps. I get to pick where he gets pushed into. The rule with push is that every space you move a monster, it has to be one more away from you. And so it's hard to do like lateral pushing, which makes sense. All right, so we'll move on to the gold. Victory. Brilliant work. The brute has decided that adventuring alone isn't best for his health, and he's agreed to become the first member of your guild. Let's get out of this dusty crypt and find someone to join him. Yeah, so it's interesting. I was wondering how long they would let you play with less than 2 characters, because the base game, the physical game, you definitely have to play with a minimum of 2 characters. All right, quest complete with a brute. We've now got a great defensive character who can soak up damage, but he's not the most mobile. Do you know anyone good at grabbing gold? Money's going to be pretty important for getting this guild off the ground. I know just the woman. She's also pretty good at stabbing people with knives. Head over here where I think she's in the process of liberating some gold right now. Ooh, looks like we get to open up a blade in the night. The trainer has pointed you to the location of your second potential recruit. Scoundrel. All right, looks like story mode I'm pretty limited, but I imagine it's probably going to be branching out soon enough. The trainer points you in the direction of a ruined crypt on the outskirts of town. Dead bandits litter the area, with many with knives still embedded in their corpses. It's clear they didn't see their attacker coming. Bum, 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 bum. This is the Scoundrel. She's great at acting fast, incredibly mobile, and able to combo off huge amounts of melee damage. Let's help her out of this sticky situation. First, you need to kill 3 archers this round before they attack? What? You'll certainly need to use for multiple target attack, plus work out how to kill the 3rd archer. Yeah, how do I attack 3 people at once? Okay, so my throwing knife's gonna... Oh, okay, they've already lost hit points. Okay, that makes it easier. So I can definitely hit the guys from where I'm at with my throwing knives. The hard part's going to be that 3rd archer. Oh, well, that's easy. Yeah, I kill these 2 guys here and then pull the 3rd archer into a trap. That's pretty rad. They move fast, but nobody moves faster than the Scoundrel. Alrighty. So we'll use the throwing knives on these 2 targets, and of course I got to click to confirm. I think I just probably have a bunch of plus zeros again, yeah. Dead. Now we'll use the smoke bomb to pull the last character down. And dead. Feels good picking off different targets at the same time, doesn't it? Now your final objective is loot at least 5 piles of gold this last round. Wow, remember that sometimes the top half of a card ability allows you to move. You should be aware that the loot ability picks up all gold within an ability's radius, so work out where you need to be and get looting. 5 tiles. Okay, so I guess I got a short rest. Oh, that's not that bad or that good. Okay, so I'm obviously they're hinting that I need to do loot. So if I'm here in this hex here, I can't signal it. If I'm here in this hex, I can loot 2 and get all of this gold down here. That's 6 piles. So we're going to use quick hands to let us move down to that place and then do the old throwing knives. Kind of made it obvious for me. Boom, 12 gold. Loot 2 is crazy powerful if there's a bunch of enemies that die together. Victory. It was a pretty easy puzzle. That's okay though. I kind of like having a variety of missions other than just, hey, go through these 3 rooms and kill everything. So it's really cool. Great idea. Fantastic idea. Let me take care of that gold for you. Looks like the Scoundrel's on board now. We've got enough mercs for a mission. Quest complete. Yes, she is fast and awesome. We definitely know that. One thing that I'm really interested in is I know there's already modding that's available on this. I'm going to have to go through and check if anybody's made a mod of the Gloomhaven solo scenarios. It'd be kind of cool to play the scenarios, solo scenarios, since you're playing by yourself, to play them on here. Definitely would be a lot of fun to check those out that way, because it's sometimes kind of lonely and sad to play on Tabletop Simulator by yourself. All right. The first thing we should do is establish a trade route with Gibbet Hill to the west. They've had a small problem with bandits in the woodland en route, so nothing that should cause you any trouble. That'll give you much needed experience on the job and allow me to get some new stock in. Go knock some heads together. Toss a coin to your hangman. They have definitely got the pop culture references on here. Unlock the Gibbet Hill trade route. So and there's some bandits on the way. Okay. Obviously, I need to check that out. I love the way that it draws the paths now. And you'll notice my map is slowly getting uncovered, little by little. Valley of Plenty. All right. So one of the things about the old adventure mode that I think they're going to continue here is that there's going to be scenarios on the way to your goal, sometimes multiple ones. It's deserted as you make your way towards Gibbet Hill. Clearly, trade has been locked down for many months, with few daring to venture along the main highways. As the track wends its way through a wooded area, you hear a twig crack in the undergrowth. It seems your quarry may have found you. Ooh. And I did hear that they were going to have some overland scenarios. So yeah, looks like we've got some. I figured they'd be showing those off pretty early. This looks kind of similar a little bit to the. I think there were already some like jungles or forests. So this is kind of a forest scenario, which is still pretty cool. This is your first proper fight. There's 2 clearings with a couple of bandits each. Okay. Remember what I've taught you, and don't enter the second clearing till you're ready. You can also set your starting location here, so bear that in mind when starting your first turn. Yeah, that's one thing I don't take advantage of. You always have starting spaces, much like in the physical game, and you can click on your different characters and decide if you want them to start up a little bit, which definitely with the Brute, I want to start him up. Actually, both of them, because the Scoundrel's going to go so fast. Man, that looks cool. Animations look awesome. Character details are really cool. Okay, so now that I've got them in the front lines, we've got some traps here, or a trap, and you can always hold tab to kind of get a better look at any damaging items or characters, enemies, in case you see something that might be hidden. Oh, look at that. Gold is always in green. Okay. So I really want to push that sucker. I don't know. I just have a pull with the... I don't have any pushing with the rogue. So let's check out the Brute. So he does have a move 3 and then push, so that could do it. I know he also has a push attack too. Maybe I don't have that right now. That's strange. Okay, so we're definitely going to use the push, the move 3 push. Whew. Okay, so definitely we don't want to go do Sleeping Blow because as my initiative, so I got to do something early. So I think we'll do a Disarming Attack, even though it's not going to... well, I should kill the archer. It's going to do 2 damage, and then my Disarm should do 2 damage. So the trap should do 2 damage, and yeah. So now I need to figure out how to reach the other archer with my Scoundrel. She's either going to need to move really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Faster than that. 6, 4, 5, 6 should do it. So I can use my backstab. And then now I just have to do some damage. Man, I wish she had a stun or disarm. Unfortunately, she don't do that. So we'll just do a big attack. As big as she can do. I could also use a swift bow, but it's not a big deal. No biggie. Okay. So that's what she's doing, and she's going with a 6 initiative, so she should be first, definitely. Okay, so I was a little worried about the Bandit Archers going. Looks like they're going to move and attack and then create a damage trap. It's not too big of an attack. So first the Scoundrel's going to go. We'll use the move 6 to move all the way down here to the last one. All right, and then attack 3 with poison. And the shield means it's going to give me an XP. She could heal, but she's not missing any hit points left. She has a healing potion too. Let's see. Oh, I guess he gave her the healing potion. That was nice of him. Okay, so now we're going to move 3. Oh, but I'm not going to get to disarm her because I'm going to be pushing her. I should have thought of that. Well, shucks. I guess maybe I should have just moved up and disarmed her. But now I'm going to have to take both of these attacks, which is silly. I should have picked a... So we'll skip the attack. I should have picked a range attack for the brute. Okay, no damage because she drew a negative modifier. But she did put her trap down. Okay, there I had to take the damage, but that's okay. I kind of deserved it. I didn't plan very well on that one. But now I can use her pull ability. She does have a pull ability on the bottom to finish off the archer. And then we'll just kind of move into... Can do a ranged attack. We'll do a leaping cleave. Well, we'll do the trample. And a shield bash to go a little early. Okay, so I get to go first no matter what. That's good. So we'll pull this archer into the trap. And she's dead. And then we'll just use the swift bow to finish off the other one. She'll do the killing. The brute can do the tanking. Okay, so he'll do a basic move to get this gold. And then we'll just skip the basic attack. All right. All right. Okay, so we'll have him move up, grab all the gold, and she can open up the next room. Why not? We'll give her a fast movement, or a lengthy movement, and then that way she can always move back, because I got to open that second door. Oh, I didn't realize there was a pile of gold there. I got to get that gold. Okay, so we'll just, we'll take our time and just move on to the gold. You always want to get that gold. It's so hard to come by. And we'll have him move up here. And he's got one of those rare top loot actions to loot everything. It's a little bit of a wasted round, but you know, we got so many cards and we've only apparently got one room left, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll use Spare Dagger to get a good range attack in. I'm going to try to move in with a push at the end. Maybe I can push somebody into a trap if there's one. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot of really speedy movement, but I can use move hands to get a little bit more movement out of her. Okay, so the brute's going to go first. We'll have him move into the room. Oh, I guess I can always use my boots in the middle of my action. I don't want to move in too far because I want to be able to use my spare dagger. So I'll move in. Now, what is she doing? Move 3. Oh, and then another 2. Yeah, she can easily reach that guy. So I'll use my spare dagger. Go ahead and damage this first guy. Get some experience out of it. Ooh, nice. No damage. He did have his shield on, so I think he could have... Ah, okay, so we'll go ahead and use that shield. Now we're taking no damage. At least this first guy is in a little bit more in range. Ooh, and I might even get to use my poison. So we'll poison this guy. And at this point, I guess I will use Quick Hands to move over here. And then we'll go ahead and do that attack 3, which should be attack 4. Oh yeah, it's attack 3 because of the poison, and then +1. Um, I guess I'll go ahead and use the healing potion. Might as well. I'm only missing 1, but oh, maybe I should have waited till next round. Oh, they went already. Okay, so I only have 1 option with the brute. The thief, on the other hand, their scoundrel's going to need to do a short rest. That's fine if I lose swift bow. All right, so I'm going to try to hit him and then be able to move up and get some treasure. Definitely not going to be able to get it all, though. All right, I get to go first. All right, so we'll do attack, dead. Ugh, why did I do that? Okay, so I'm going to move all the way down here, grab some gold. He will skewer this guy. And then use basic move to get that last little bit of gold. Victory. I hope it's keeping track of all this gold. All right, so my reward is that I get to unlock Gibbet Hill. Ah, the joyous sound of gold coins. Do you think I should get some mana potions in stock? That said, I've no idea what you'd actually use them for. Some kind of amazing cocktail? This probably means it's a good time to teach you how to use magic, and I know a spellweaver that should be able to help us out. Last I heard from her, she was searching a stone circle in a forest near Gibbet Hill. Nice. Okay, so the cool thing is, it's not very long before I'm going to get a 3rd player, so hopefully you're not going to tease me with a 4th player again forever. I also feel like so far, this whole scenario thing has been a lot faster. Of course, I know I'm still doing kind of intro scenarios, but okay, so we're going to get the Spellweaver. Friendly magic users in need of some of your tactical knowledge. Asking around in Gibbet Hill, you're directed down a forest path towards some long-forgotten ruins. As you reach a clearing, you hear a commotion ahead. It seems some bandits have cornered an orchid woman. Is this who you've been told to find? And of course, I think unlocking Gibbet Hill, I didn't get to click on anything. Maybe I should have. Give me some more shop options, items, things like that. Say hello to the Spellweaver, a powerful but fragile magician who can harness natural elements into the world. She's in a bit of a pickle now, though. The elemental display on the right of the screen shows elements that are available for spell casting. At the moment, an ice element is available. This round, you must power up Freezing Nova to kill as many bandits as you can. Survive the round by using a jump move to escape. And where should I do that jump move? Oh, down this hallway here, maybe? Man, doesn't look like I can go down that way. Okay, so that's my only jump move, so I gotta do that. Oh, I guess that just keeps the guards away from me that round. Okay. And obviously I've got ice here. So the elements are kind of interesting. Certain cards will conjure an element onto the battlefield, and then other cards will you consume the element. And so the trick is learning those combinations either to help out your characters by conjuring elements for them, or if once they have conjured them for you, then to consuming them at the appropriate time. So it wants me to use Freezing Nova. Oh, okay. So basically, I'm going to go before them, and I'm going to use Freezing Nova to give myself +1 attack. So this is the combo that I can use it for later on during my actual turn. They're going to go after I am. And of course, this beautiful Ride the Wind ability is awesome because you can jump so far away. There's no way these slow-ass bandit guards are going to catch me. They're only going to move 2 this round, so they'll be easy to outrun. So I can attack 2, target all adjacent enemies, and if I select, you have to be really careful. By selecting it, it's going to glow a little bit brighter, whereas if you don't select it, you'll see it's kind of grayed out. But if I select it, it's glowing, or it's at least white. It's not dimmed out. The other thing that's nice is you'll see that it glows a little brighter when you select it. On the right-hand side, you'll see the element consumed. That's how you know you're using it. So the first thing you have to do is consume the element. Then you have to pick the action. Oh, okay. I was like, what is going on? Okay, so I'm consuming the element. I can verify that here. Now I have to confirm the attack. I don't think I have to select. Oh, whoops. Boom. All adjacent guys took damage. That did some damage. And that was a cool effect. I think they've definitely been working on modifying those effects in a cool way. So now I'm going to use my Ride the Wind to get out of here. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I think it maybe wants me to move behind the rocks. Well, the problem is it doesn't seem like I can really move anywhere. In a way that will be away from anybody. Oh, maybe here. No, he can move 2 spaces there. Whew, where am I going to move? These guys are moving 2 spaces? Move 3. Huh, use a jump move to survive. Oh, maybe it's just straight back here. It's not that much of a move. No, but that guy can still reach me. That's very interesting. There's no doors. It doesn't seem like there's anywhere I can move where I'm not in range of somebody. Oh, this guy's they're all immobilized, for crying out loud. Wasn't I not paying attention to that? I didn't realize, yeah, my freezing nova also immobilized everybody. Okay, so I moved, as long as I move away from them, where I'm 2 or more away, then they're done. Okay. That infused spell did a base 3 damage instead of 2, meaning you knocked out 3 bandits instead of 1. Plus the immobilized condition meant that they couldn't come after me. The Ride the Wind also created a handy air element. Spellweaver is going to be exhausted, though. Fortunately, she has a very powerful trick up her sleeve, which is one of my favorite cards in the game. The top half of Reviving Ether allows her to return all of the burn cards that she has into her hand. So she's one of the few characters that can allow you to get burn cards back. Kill the last 3 bandit guards. If you use Reviving Ether to remove burn cards, you'll have a lot of the deadly spells at your disposal. Okay, I've got to do a short rest. The problem is I have a 50-50 chance of losing Reviving Ether. But I don't really think I have a choice. They're definitely going to kill me. Okay, so they didn't take Reviving Ether, but they did take my Freezing Nova. Now, the nice thing is it's lost, so I can technically get it back anyway. So I got to get Flame Strike. And then, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use it because of the fact that I got to recover my cards. But I can maybe do an attack and kill this guard on the bottom, and none of the other guys can reach me. We'll see how that works. So they can move 2, so the far guys won't be able to reach me, but if I can kill that nearby guy, I can stay alive. Okay. And then use Reviving Ether to get my other cards back from the burn pile. So confirm target, definitely dead. 4 damage, and these guys don't have a shield. Now I'll use my Reviving Ether. Oh, power. And you'll notice that it's creating an element, but you can't ever, if you create an element, you can't use the element on your same turn. You have to wait till the next turn, or other characters can use it because your turn's done. So that's just the basic rule with conjuring elements. You can't use them on the exact same turn that you created, but as soon as it's the next ally's turn, they can use it. Or enemies could use it if they have cards that burn elements. Okay, so we're going to use some powerful cards here. I mean, obviously I can use fire orbs. But if I use my freezing nova, no, or my monobolt, I can do 3 damage at range 3. And technically 4 with my these guys might. And I'll heal myself. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's the monobolt though. Okay, so we use monobolt and then heal ourselves. Well, that's a burn card. Dang. Oh well. I don't think it'll be hard to kill these guys. All right. So they're moving 2 and attacking 2, so this guy won't be able to get to me again. The far guy. I got to deal with the nearby guy, so that's where I'm going to use my monobolt and consume another element to do that. Hello. Oh, okay. I guess I got to pick darkness. Because if there were multiple elements, this color wheel means I can pick any element, and because if there was more than darkness, I could choose any element I want. Now we're doing 3 damage. Ooh, my ×2 went off. And now I'll heal myself and infuse light onto the battlefield. Still can't get close enough to me. And unfortunately he loses... Oh no, he does his strengthen again. So now we'll do fire orbs and move away from him. Of course I'll have burned all my cards again. But he'll be dead anyway, so... Oh, crap. He got to go first because all I had were high cards. Okay, so I just took 1 damage. No, not a big deal. But I do need to move away. I'll just use a basic move. Oh, I'm trapped back here, so I can't just use a basic move. Yeah, I'll come over here and get this gold. Maybe 1 more to get this gold. And then do some fire orb damage here. Ooh, nice effect. Love that. Spellweaver is done. And you see I created a bunch of elements on the board. Would have been cool to keep comboing that. She's agreed to join our guild, and you can see she's great at turning around a bad situation. She can be difficult, though, because of the complexity of her tactics. All right. That's magic sorted then. Shouldn't you recruit someone who understands modern technology? Those quattrels are always messing about with power cores. Yay, we automatically get our 4th guy out. Sounds like a good call. There was a tinker around here yesterday looking for a fellow explorer to investigate a tomb nearby. I wonder if he's okay. All right, well, let's see. I guess the towns don't have anything to offer yet. You just got to kind of keep going on the tinker time, exactly. All right, so we'll try this one out. Definitely getting the main characters recruited. The only thing that I'm worried about is once you get to the actual like non-opening missions that you might not be able to bring all 4 characters with you, but hopefully that's not the case. Right now I'm working with 3 or 4 characters at a time, but so it should be easy to transfer. The trainer informs you that the Quattrel had last been seen heading to the basement underneath an abandoned mansion to the south of the city. You reach the mansion to find the front door wide open and small footprints in the thick dust. You follow these to a door to the deep, dark basement. Here's the Tinkerer. He's a great support character to have in a team, but he can also take on multiple enemies in a pinch, which might come in handy looking at this room. Currently, he's wounded, and he'll take 1 damage at the start of every turn, so you need to heal him as soon as possible with your health potion. I'd also advise you to go as late as possible in the round. Sometimes it's better to go slow and let the enemies come towards you. Then you can use one of the Tinker's famous area of effect attacks to deal some serious damage. Okay, so obviously it wants me to use Ink Bomb, and maybe we can also Toxic Bolt. And I'm going to go last, so I want to go late. That's why my initiative is at 74, and I'm going to use a health potion on my turn. So these guys will move 3 and then attack, but I don't think they're going to be able to move close enough to hit me. But they will be closer. Okay, so I was like, why am I taking damage? So my wound is giving me a damage. Couldn't help. I'm going to go ahead and take my health potion, which will remove the wound. And it does go ahead and heal me 3 points. Yeah. But the bad thing about poison is it's a worse condition because you actually, instead of healing, you take away the poison and only remove the condition. You don't actually get hit points back, which really sucks. Okay, so I'm going to use my Ink Bomb to get these cluster of 3 guys in a row here. This cluster of 3 guys. It's going to do 3 damage. Unfortunately, I don't. It's also going to generate night. It can't consume night, and I'm going to get an XP for every guy I hit. Boom! Oh, that's awesome. All right. And I can attack 5, but it has to be at a range of 2. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. I could have moved up closer, but the problem is that the Tinker is kind of a ranged attacker, so I want to keep my distance. Ink Bomb was pretty good, eh? I'll leave you to finish off the rest of the bad guys. Did you know you can rotate the area of effect by pressing R? I did not know that's how you did that. Okay, R rotates area of effect. So I've got to do a short rest. It's going to give me my other AoE attack so I can rotate. All right, I'll lose Toxic Bolt, no big deal. All right, definitely get to use my other AoE now. Okay, so we'll go ahead and use that now. The shooter. Yeah, see it's stuck here in this format. And now I just rotated it. Cool. Okay, so now it's going to hit all these guys. I am going to get another XP for everybody I hit. And this should be enough to kill everybody. Boom. I am going to go ahead and use the move 6, both because it gives me an XP and I can move up here to this gold. I feel like the Tinker is one of the hardest XP builds. It's just really hard to grind XP with him. He doesn't. Maybe I just don't play. I think part of the problem is I don't play lost cards enough. I hardly ever exhaust, and I always have lots of cards left over, which is technically not the most effective way to play a character. You kind of want to go exhausted at the exact time that the dungeon's over, especially because you play a bunch of XP cards. But I have a hard time doing that. It's hard to balance for me. Not so bad for a little guy, eh? I think it's time we looked at starting to get some money coming in. Finally. Quest complete. We're getting a proper mercenary guild together now. I think we can start taking on paying jobs. Speaking of which, someone needs our help. Peace be with you. The holy crypt under the sanctuary of the Great Oak has been defiled by local cultists, and now it is overrun with an endless stream of undead. Can you help us? Sounds like a good test for our 2 new mercs. Let's get to it. All right. Looks like we got to investigate the undead infestation. All right, let's go ahead and do this one. Let's see how this goes. Undead have been pouring out of the crypt. See if you can put a stop to them. All right. Ooh, we've got an encounter, a little event on the way. Road event. A cart lies seemingly abandoned by the side of the road. Whoever owns it is nowhere to be seen. The back of the cart is mostly loaded with junk, but there's a barrel loaded with food, and you're feeling rather hungry. I'll leave it alone. I don't want to start getting a bad reputation right away. Tempting as the food poking out of the barrel may be, you decide to leave the cart alone and let the owner return and continue down the path. I have a feeling that the owner would have returned while I was chowing down. The keeper meets you at the entrance of the temple, where many of the acolytes look fearfully towards the building. She explains that portals have opened in the crypts, and that although they have the holy symbol capable of closing them, no one is brave enough to enter the crypt. She gives you the artifact and explains, you'll need to remain in the crypt for some time, and then the symbol will close and dispel the portals. Good luck. She ushers you forward. Okay, this is interesting. I have a feeling that guys are going to keep spawning, and I've got to hold them off. Interesting twist on the old dungeon. The crypt is bathed in an unholy light from the portals in the corners of the room. You prepare yourselves for battle. Okay, I really like that they're brainstorming some variety in here. Oh, I've only got the Tinkerer with me? Where's my Brute? Okay, so the trick is now I've got to survive 4 rounds. Now, I don't have any push or pull. I definitely don't want to lose my... Okay, so the Tinker could go earlier. Does he have a push or pull? I do have a stun. Oh, the hook gun. Of course I do. Come on. So I can hit 3 away. I'm going to need to be a little closer to the bones here. I need to be 1 space closer. So I'll just go with the Energizing Tonic to give me an early initiative. Now, with the Spellweaver, what am I going to do with her? She doesn't really have any control. I don't have to worry about the living corpse. He's going to take forever to walk toward me. I don't want to use my lost card yet. I guess my mana bolt is my best source of damage, but somebody's got to generate some energy. I don't really have a way to do that without losing a card. So I guess we just won't have any energy for that attack. That's okay. Doesn't always come off. Oh, I could have moved myself around, but I kind of like being... Oh, I should have started on a closer space, then I could have used his bottom action to do something else. Oh, well. Living Corpse is moving 2, so still, like I said, not going to get close to me. The Living Bones are moving and attacking, but they're moving pretty slow as well. Okay. So he is only 3 away. So I'm going to go ahead and attack him. All right. And then I'm just going to skip my movement, stay where I am. Okay, so the Tinkerer is going to have to move a little bit closer. And then skip the rest of the movement. Attack 2. Confirm. Ooh, it's going to do 3 damage. And then when he gets pulled on the trap, that's going to be enough to kill him. Should be. Oh, I guess, yeah, so here's the thing with pulling. The reason why it wouldn't just let me confirm it onto the trap is because anytime you pull something, you can completely ignore pulling altogether if you want to. But if you decide to pull, you have to do the full pull if you can. So, for example, if I couldn't pull him 1 more closer, then it wouldn't make me do the second pull. But because I can pull him closer, I have to do the second pull instead of just the 1. But he's going to die anyway, so I guess I want the gold close to me. All right, so he activated the trap, got the gold. Oh, I guess his gold dropped where he hit the trap. Makes sense. Okay, so the living corpse is getting closer. The Spellweaver does need to... Now the Flame Strike is close enough for him to be able to hit. Ooh, we just got another living corpse. Oh, these are spawning points. Nice. Okay, cool. That's how we know where they're coming out. I was wondering if they were going to pop up behind me. Okay, so we got... Oh, and we got another... Living corpse coming. This is kind of similar to the Tinkerer's solo solo mission. All right. So I'm going to do the flame strike, so it doesn't really matter what's on the bottom of the other card. So we'll just do a high card just to get rid of it. Tinkerer is going to need to possibly... Where's my stun? All right, we'll stun somebody for a round. Nobody's hurt yet. So I'm not really too worried about... Well, we'll give everybody extra damage, which I don't think is going to help the Spellweaver, but... Oof, the Living Bones is going to get to go before the Spellweaver. That's not good. What is Living Bones doing? Moving and attacking 2 targets, so that's going to hit both of us, and then healing. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to switch up my play here. How far are the Living Corpses moving? 2 and an attacking 2. He's going to get to me. Well, I guess the Living Corpse damage is going to... Well, but he's going to heal himself. Oh, well. We'll deal with it. Oh, I did not mean to hit him with that attack. I meant to stun him. Oh, now he is going to hit me anyway. No, I'm going to move back. Okay. So I don't have to worry about getting hit. So unfortunately, the Living Bones are going to get to go, though. Oh, wait. They move... Why didn't he attack? Huh. Oh, I guess he had to move 0. So he couldn't move anywhere. And then he got to attack 2 people if they were next to him, and then he healed himself. Okay, that's not too bad. But unfortunately, my Flame Strike is probably not going to... Oh, I do have a regular modifier deck now, so it's possible I could draw +1. Nope, but I didn't. But if I go earlier than him next round, he should die. We'll just move her back a little bit. Yeah, the living bone or living corpses are the only ones that get to go still. Okay, so I only have to survive 1 more round. Whew, living corpse elite. Wow. I think this is the last round I have to survive, which isn't going to be too bad. I am going to use my fire orbs because I've got 3 guys that I can hit, and I'm going to use my freezing nova in order to go as early as possible, hopefully before everybody. My guy's gotta... Yeah, net shooter should be good. Ink bomb does more damage though, so I should use that instead. And then we'll just use restorative mist just so I can go a little earlier than anybody. All right, so I get to go before everybody. I should have a pretty good amount of room cleaned up. Okay, so I get to attack these guys, I think. Rotate this around properly. All right, so these guys are all within range. I don't know why he's blinking. All right, now see, Tinkerer can generate stuff by losing cards that the Mono Weaver could now use, Spellweaver. Now I could move, but I think I'm going to just stay here. No need to use my healing potion, everybody's full up. Okay, so the Spellweaver is going to use Fire Orbs. I'm going to target the 3 closest guys, hopefully knock them out, and then I don't have to worry about the other guys, I don't think. Nope, I have to worry about a lot of the living bones. Unfortunately. Oh well. Man, I love those effects now. All right. Well, we have to worry about two less living bones, or one less living bone, a living corpse. Okay, the living corpses are not going to move very far. No need to use healing, so we'll just skip our movement. I definitely like these one-room dungeons. This is a cool effect, that they keep spawning and you just have to survive. It's a cool idea. All right. Whew, made it. The portals suddenly blink out of existence. The undead fall to the floor. It seems as though I've survived the undead onslaught. Let me guess, the Tree of Life is going to give me blessings. Thank you so much, heroes, but we'll need some time to get the temple ready for our normal services. Oh, I guess I'm not going to get blessings that soon. I'm sure we'll be of use in the future. Heroes, I thought we were doing this for the money. It's time to open up the route to the marches, but the route is under lockdown after a number of raids from small bands of vermlings with their dogs. Head up north and see if you can drive them out. Okay. So I'll be unlocking the marches trade route eventually. All right. Well, as you can see, I've got a good amount of the map. Obviously, this game is now keeping me playing a lot longer, simply with this new story mode, narrative mode, introduction of things. Very cool. I definitely like what I'm seeing, both the tutorial lead in and then gathering characters. Although I would like maybe very soon to have the ability to control who goes into scenarios, but of course then the scenarios will be kind of normal. I also do like these kind of shortened scenarios, and they're kind of showing you all the different scenario types or the capabilities, including the new puzzles, the new survival mode, which I really like a lot. That's going to be really cool, especially if you start getting a little bit harder with more characters comboing each other and helping each other out. Um, I think I'm going to be opening some new trade routes soon, which hopefully will open some shops soon so I can purchase things and level up and that kind of thing. But it's all really interesting so far, really cool decision to kind of revamp adventure mode in a different way. I definitely think this is going to be much more fun. Um, as you kind of go through the playthrough, it kind of became the same kind of adventuring every time you went around. It was a little bit more like a roguelike. This seems definitely a lot more like a campaign, so it'll be cool to keep checking this out. Unfortunately, I'm going to be off the air for the next couple of weeks, which really sucks. Well, I mean, it's fun because I'll be on vacation visiting family, even though it's a terrible time to be taking a vacation, but it's really our last chance to go see some family members before the school year starts and everything gets crazy again. But so we're taking a safe opportunity to do that. Um, Definitely staying safe and careful. Exactly. Got to have some time to ourselves, a little vacation. But it'll be a lot of fun. But I promise I will be back. Not next week, not the week after. It'll be a couple weeks, about 3 weeks before I'll be back. But I should be able to now that everything's up and running with Guild Mode. I will definitely be checking it out the Tuesday that I get back, and I'll give everybody a heads up on Twitter. So follow me on there. And Table Flipping Games will also be taking a couple weeks off. So we'll have a little vacation. Everybody will have a little summer break and enjoy some summer sun. Get out there as much as you can, but safe, of course. Staying safe and keeping everything from spreading with the pandemic. But we'll be back in 3 weeks. So everybody have a great couple of weeks. Enjoy your time, and I'll see you then. Later. Bye.